Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Apuborama, and in today's video we have a lot of discounts to break into, and honestly, these are fantastic discounts. I'm really surprised that Rockstar is throwing out really good deals, because normally weekly updates feature one or two good cars, and then the rest are pretty mid, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest, these are some of the best discounts I've seen in a very long time. My guess is Rockstar is trying to get you guys to spend your money right before the DLC comes out, so that way you have to earn more money for the DLC. But if you already have a lot of money stashed up, I'm going to tell you that these are still some really good deals, and I personally would recommend to pick up some of the cars, which I'll be telling you in just a moment. Let's start off, as usual, talking about your double and triple money. We have triple money on drag and drift races. Who cares? You're not going to be earning that much money with them. Oh no. Now, I guess if you do want to earn $100,000 for the weekly challenge, you will get 100k if you do 2 drag races or 2 drift races. So really all you need to do is get a friend, join my Discord server, and get somebody else, whatever platform you play on, do 2 quick races, and you'll make 100k plus times 3 money on those races. So it's not awful, but still, you're not going to be earning that much money at the end of the day. We also have double money on salvage yard income, which is pretty decent. It's nothing crazy, but again, you will be earning some extra cash, especially when it comes to passive income. So if you don't own a salvage yard, get your hands on one. And that's especially relevant because the salvage yard is 30% off this week. The salvage yard is one of my favorite businesses in the game, and there's a major reason why it's really good, and that is this week you are able to get your hands on the Italy GTO, one of the best sports cars available in the game. It has literally one of the best lap times, even compared to HSW vehicles, and you can claim it for free inside of the salvage yard if you simply do the robbery. So that's actually fantastic. It's like a $3 million car, so I would highly recommend to participate in the salvage yard if you own it. If you don't own one, I would recommend to get it just so you can pick up this car for free. This is the best car that Rockstar has put into the salvage yards by far at this point. So let's break into the free vehicles we can get, which are the Prize Ride, the Comet S2 Cabrio, and the podium vehicle being the BF Weevil. The Prize Ride's actually a pretty good car. Yeah, I can't say much about the Weevil. Definitely a waste of money or time, but it is free, I guess, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's definitely a waste of a vehicle, in my opinion. Unless you plan on upgrading it to the special version, then it's really fast and fun to mess around with, but I don't know. The base variant, pretty mediocre. Now we arrive to our 40% discounts. We start off with the Ignis. It's normally a $2.7 million vehicle. This week you are able to pick it up for a lot less, $1.6 million. Every single vehicle I'll be showcasing today is 40% off. That is huge. Normally Rockstar only does a couple vehicles that are a 40% discount, and then the rest are usually 30%, but this week, absolutely insane. Now the Ignis is not the fastest supercar, but what I can say is it features absolutely incredible handling, and if you play a next generation console, you can turn it into an HSW variant that has a weaponized minigun on the roof. So yeah, I would actually say the Ignis is just a great pickup in general. This is one of my favorite looking cars in the game. I absolutely love the design, and I love to mess around with it, so it's actually a pretty good shout if you want my honest opinion. After the Ignis, we break into the Emerus, which is also an amazing vehicle. If you do not own the Emerus, I would highly recommend to pick it up this week. The Emerus is normally $2.75 million. This week you can pick it up for $1.65 million. That is a $1 million discount, and actually kind of insane when you think about it. The Emerus is probably the best handling supercar in the game, right up there next to the Krieger and Turismo Amaggio. And that is insane when you think about it. Even compared to HSW cars, the Emerus still is within the top 5 best lap time supers in the game. And you can see why. I mean, look at this thing roll around these corners here. It is absolutely insane. So I would definitely recommend to pick up the Emerus if you have the cash to do so, because it is most definitely worth it. We have an Amani Tech vehicle that is on discount. I love this car. It's based off the Nissan Z. This is the Annis 300R. You can pick up the Annis 300R for the price tag normally of $2 million. This week it's $800,000 off at $1.2 million. That's actually a really really good deal if you want my opinion. This car does feature, as we can see, the armor plating on the sides, so it will be able to survive upwards of 10 sticky bombs or explosions. Not sticky bombs, but I should say homing rockets, anything like that. Plus you can put on the homing lock-on jammer, which is really, really nice. This car isn't the fastest, but it's decent in the sports category. I just love the look of it. I love the design of it. I think it's an incredibly fun car to drive, and it sounds amazing. So if you're a big fan of the 300R and how it looks, I would definitely recommend to pick it up because it's definitely worthwhile. We have the X80 Proto, which used to be one of the fastest cars and best lap time in the game, but over the years it has definitely fallen short. It's a cool car, don't get me wrong, I really like the look of it, but it's still a very expensive vehicle, normally sitting at 2.7 million. Even with the discount, you're still looking at an expensive 1.6. But I can't really say it's an awful deal. I mean, if you want the X80 Proto and you've been saying, hey, this is a car I've always wanted to pick up, but it's way too expensive, well, this week it's actually a pretty decent deal, especially for the customization and overall design it has going for it. I still think this is actually a pretty good pickup, and it's a very fun car to mess around with, so not too bad, honestly, at all. I'm very surprised. Alright, well next up we arrive at the Obey Tailgater S. Honestly, I don't know much about the Tailgater S. I mean, it looks cool, and I mean, that's something, right? I do like the design of this car. Just makes me think of Michael's car, because he has the Obey Tailgater. But there's nothing really spectacular about this vehicle. It doesn't handle amazing, it doesn't have great acceleration, it's not the fastest, but it does have really good customization, as you can see, and it does look really cool. It's also not too expensive. Normally it's 1.5 million, so this week you can pick it up for $900,000. So if you're looking for a decent deal and a pretty good discount, this is a okay shout, but it is a sedan. It's not the fastest, and yeah, personally, I don't think it's worth the money. That's kind of my belief, but I guess let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Obey Tailgater S. Man, we're running out of room here because NPCs keep taking my parking spots. We move on to the Weaponized Tampa. We all know the Weaponized Tampa for its very dangerous capabilities. Features missiles, which you can shoot. It has a rear mortar, which you can launch into cars, like that one right there. And it even has a dual minigun, which well, does an insane amount of damage, as we can see. The Weaponized Tampa also features proximity mines that you can drop. For example, this car behind me no longer is a car. These are all great capabilities, and normally this is a very, very expensive vehicle. But this week, you can normally get it for 2.1 million. You can get it for 1.2 this week. That is a huge discount, and in my opinion, makes this actually a great pickup if you're looking for a super fun muscle car with weapons to mess around with. Something you do have to keep in mind, though, is that this vehicle does not come with the upgrades on it, and you have to unlock those with bunker research. So if you don't have the bunker research already unlocked, then this is probably a really, really bad vehicle for you to pick up, because you're going to be spending the rest of your day trying to unlock bunker research to get this vehicle equipped. What else do we have? Well, we arrive to the Ocelot Virtue. Normally 2.9 million. Oh, that car blew up. This week, it is 1.8. As much as I love the Virtue, at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not even going to bother to drive it. You can get the Virtue for free if you simply complete the first dose missions and then the last dose missions for Dax. Not only that, but you get an Acid Lab for free as well. The Virtue is an amazing car, but I just don't think it's worth it to spend money on when you can get it for literally free. Now, if you have hundreds of millions of dollars, sure, purchase the Virtue. But if you have that much money, then I don't know why you're not purchasing the car to begin with. We have the Taipan, which is a pretty mediocre supercar, I'll be honest. The Taipan reaches a top speed of around 124. It's really not that fast in the supers category, and its handling is pretty mediocre. It normally costs $2 million. This week you can get it for $1.2 million. So fairly inexpensive. It does look cool, but at the end of the day, it's just not that good of a supercar. It's not that really good on handling, and it's kind of disappointing. I wish it did have a bit more customization, liveries, and it would have been a really, really fun vehicle to mess around with, but as I mentioned, it's just a rather mediocre vehicle. We move on to the Vigero, which is actually an amazing vehicle. The Vigero ZX, I should specify. This is normally quite an expensive muscle car, sitting at 1.9 million. You get it for 1.1 million this week. Not only does this look amazing, like literally one of the best looking cars in the game, but it also is fast, and if you're playing on next generation console, you can make it an HSW variant, making it literally the fastest muscle car in the game. So it's got a lot of fun going for it. It's got a lot of customization. It sounds amazing. It's got a digital speedometer, which is always nice. I just love the look of this vehicle in general. I think Rockstar did such a fantastic job designing this car, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend to get your hands on it if this is the kind of vehicle you're looking for, especially because it is so incredibly cheap this week. We finish off with the Lampadati Corsita. Once again, another fantastic sports car. This is not only an amazing looking sports car, but one of the best handling in the game. It has great liveries, great customization, very, very fun vehicle to mess around with. Would definitely recommend to pick up, especially because it's only $1 million. That makes this one of the cheapest sports cars to pick up, especially for the performance. So yeah, I'm actually crazy right now with how many good deals Rockstar has been able to put out. These are all fantastic. I mean, honestly, most of the vehicles that Rockstar are selling this week on discount are great. And sure, people might say, oh, you shouldn't spend your money because, oh, the update's coming out. But I'm going to be honest, if you have plenty of money to spend, why not? The update's going to drip feed half the content anyway, and you can earn quite a bit of money just participating in the Dr. Dre and Kosatka, Cayo Perico heist back and forth. So I would definitely recommend to spend a little bit of time this week, because the update week only lasts till Tuesday. I would recommend to spend a little bit of time this week to focus on earning some cash for these vehicles, because these are really good deals. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, and you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!